It's proof we were here.
I would love to have your I left all of my experience, so
This is hard, right? I am multitasking. Okay, college. Yeah, there was something between 18 a lot between 18 and 40.
yeah, exactly. But everybody was younger, under 18. That that's all I'm gonna do.
Yes. That's already the center. Yes. That's how everything is defined, is by.
I'm gonna go get one then.
I did have one, because all the calories fall out when you break it in half. The rest, yeah. Well, it was there. I know it.
So it won't do anything. Like this? Yeah. Well,
I have a few decisions to make that I go away. Yeah. That's why mine was up, because, the weather just.
oh, so do you have these?
Yes. So excited for following. Exactly. Okay. Let me tell that. Yes. 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 The weather was intense. Lots of lightning, like we were driving, we got here before the bottom fell out, but I was really nervous on the freeway because it was like gusts. We were driving and stuff flying across the road. I just did that. Yeah, we get there safely, Lord, and then I won't get back out. Jerry was going to find Maggie. I don't know, Chris left. Chris didn't say anything.
But I would love to. No, Fernando.
Which Fernando?
Oh, and she's fairly new. Last election.
Okay, but the other Fernando, I get confused. The other Fernando had two. How about you? Right.
Am I in the right place? Is this coalition? Okay.
Oh, there's Maggie. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, so it's good to see her, yeah. Okay, Karen's coming, Jerry's coming, this is me, Maggie's in here, this should be us. Yeah. Thank you for, encouraging me to eat cinnamon. I appreciate that. And you can see me. So thank you so much.
Hey, 1 second.
Oh, there you are.
Yes, I did. I just didn't, I didn't have a location. I had
We're going to start off with a prayer by Galen.
Stand, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so grateful that we can not only come together, but that we can come to you any time of the day, any day of the week, for every need, great and small. And Lord, I just thank you for being in this room with us. I pray that you would guide our words and guide our hearts, and you know our passions, and you know we can just get caught up in those passions. And so I pray that you would be with us as we work to make Texas stronger and a safer, more unified state to work together for your glory, that we invite you into everything we do, every part of our lives, and we promise to give you the praise and you the glory. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Hi, Jerry Fisher. I'm chairman of the Partnerships and Coalitions. And I would like to thank my committee, Maggie, Rachel, Karen, Galen, Jill, and Fernando Sabino. He's on our committee. Is that the one we're missing? He's not coming in until later today. But what the partnerships and coalitions are organizations that are part of the RPT. And we sent out letters to renew, requesting renewals to be a partner. And these are the ones that have completed, and updated their website and what's going on. Once Again Society, Texas Asian Republican Assembly, Texas Federation of Republican Women, Pacadon, Texas Young Republican Federation, Texas Republican County Chair Association, Texas Republican Assembly. Poor John tried to get 150 black men, and he also tried to get MLK. So we called Tim Wesley, we called Floyd McClendon, did not return our calls. So all of their information, their officers, their bylaws, are all in our folder under RPT, or they will be. Right now, we're just trying to clean up the RPT website. And we may have a new partnerships, if they will contact me again, is the College Republicans. But to get them in, because they haven't been a member or partnership, is they have to come in here and re-interview and ask them questions and all that. And we have someone here from Convention Estates that may speak. I hope if we have time, Erica wants to speak about Convention Estates. Okay, any questions about what's going on? Everyone that short and sweet? That's not helpful.
If they're in the wrong room, now it's time to go.
Okay, what happened to you?
She went to take a call.
Okay. No questions? No. John, you look back.
Jerry, what's the difference between the two partnerships?
Very good question. Correct me if I'm wrong, can you answer that question? Shoot on it.
So a partner is what used to be previously known as an auxiliary, and they adhere to all the same principles as we do. And they say that they won't work against us in any of our platform planks either. Pretty much a group that's in lockstep, another arm of this party. They are a partner, a branch, not a subsidiary, but and they are very much adhere to all of the same principles we do. A coalition is a looser affiliation. They don't have to adhere to every plank, if I'm understanding what we agreed in the past, but the principles they must. They must adhere to the principles, and they essentially can't be working counter to the Republican Party in our efforts, in their mission statement, our mission statement, kind of thing. But we're like-minded. But that one's kind of looser than the partners.
Did either one receive funds from the RPT?
No. Maybe 6 years ago or something, like when the party is flush and there's an event going on, like for example, the RPT provided some funds for deployments by the YRs who were block walking for some key campaigns across the state. So, you know, when YR clubs from across the state would go to the valley or would go to, I think they went to at least 4 different places, the RPT covered the cost of the rooms, as long as they got themselves there and covered their own food and stuff. Just kind of helping them help us. But that was just, you know, when possible. And that's on a case-by-case basis. It doesn't happen all that often.
I have a follow-on question about that. If they don't abide by our rules and principles, whatever level of organization they are, what do we, the RPT, the SRAC do about that?
Before she answers, would you introduce yourself and tell
Oh,
us who you are?
yeah, my name is Conrad Stradle, Bandera County.
Chair.
Glad to meet you, sir. Neighboring county. I'm from Riverton.
Oh, okay.
So we potentially would not disbar them. We would suspend their status as a partner or coalition and take them off the website. We wouldn't have them on our RPT website because currently any who are approved get their websites linked to from ours and get whatever publicity, and we'll put their events on the calendar, the events calendar that's on the RPT. So their events can be found by people going just to the RPT site. So just, that's the most I can think of right now.
So essentially,
They're no longer allowed to use the title of, you know, RPT. partner, RPT Coalition, and they don't get the use of our server for publicity.
One more question. Do any of them contribute to the RPT donations?
No.
Well, maybe they should.
So you made a comment that.
All I can say is why ours are poor.
As an organization, they may not contribute, but individually, they, yes.
Right, the idea is that all of our
yes.
efforts together combine to make a much better and more effective party. I don't think anybody's gonna say that, the clubs that meet and inform voters about their various horrible city charters right now, or the candidates about school board and get the electorate out to vote are not a contributor,
Right, gotcha.
just not monetarily.
Close our question on funding. So you said that they don't get any funding, but if they're tethered to our website, then by default, they do get funding.
Okay, whatever James Westlake's 10 minutes of the year is worth. No, you're right, that is of value.
Yes.
And I would say that it is of value because, some years past, you know, people are like, why do we even need this? What's the point? They all can do their own thing and we don't have it. But the college Republicans were getting a lot of pushback from the national college Republicans because the Texas college Republicans were more conservative and had pro-life in their mission statement, in their platform of the college Republicans. And the National College Republican Federation was going to defederate them, was going to cut them off. But because they were actually tied to the state party, they couldn't be like cut off and dismissed. And so that was one case where it helped the college Republicans and
Gave them credibility.
keep their,
Gave them credibility.
it gave them credibility, it gave them standing in the fight, and they were able to keep their stance and say, no, you can't. We're still here and we're still legit and recognized by the party.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, and high school Republicans, if anyone knows a contact that we can get in touch with them, yes, Dr. Myers will take care of that.
I'm already working with them,
Very good,
so
Thank you.
we're gonna revive that.
thank you. Are you with the Turning Point or?
They want to be separate, but I also already talked to Howard. So we'll find a way to put them in parallel tracks, but they already have some groups established for them that they want to revive. They got closed down because of the COVID mandates.
And if y'all know of any other group that would like to be a partnership or a coalition with us, please let me know, or if y'all want to reach out. They have to follow our bylaws, like Karen said, and our principles, our platform. So they're welcome. They don't get, someone asks me what resources they get, and someone asked me that.
Okay.
Is there any, no, is there any more new business, Jill?
Yes, we have had a interesting situation in my district, in Wise County with one of the PFRW clubs. And, two of my constituents, Andy and Amanda Hopper, received a letter, yeah, you can get it to this meeting. And I'm just gonna basically read it real quick, so you'll see what my concern is with this. And this is with their permission, they gave me a copy. And this is to Amanda, Andy received one identical, and it said, "Mrs. Hopper, we apologize that your check was processed in error. Your values and objectives do not align with Wise Republican Women, the Texas Federation of Republican Women, and the National Federation of Republican Women. We are returning your money as we cannot accept you as a member. Regards, the President of Wise Republican Women." And the concern I have about this is Mr. Hopper was a candidate in the last primary, lost by 85 votes to another one of our Republican representatives. And he and Amanda are very active, strong Republicans in Wise County. They started Wise County Conservative Club that has over 100 members in it. And there has been no explanation for this action. They not received much information other than, I think, an offer now to meet in a week, with the board. But,
With the TFRW board?
no, the local club board, yeah. But, my concern with this is knowing the Hoppers personally, and not being aware of any gross action on either of their parts, to receive something like this is concerning, and to be, with my knowledge of some of the local county politics, it appears to be a legal witch hunt. And so I wanted to bring this up, for discussion, perhaps we monitor this, we investigate this. But I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty appalled that Republicans are treating other Republicans this way with apparently seemingly no real good reason.
Kit,
For
discussion.
Yes, I would.
This is Kit Whitehill. For those who don't know her, she is president of the Texas Federation of Republican Women.
Hey, everybody. Okay, so yes, we do have this situation, and what you need to know about TFRW clubs is our clubs we have structure, and the National Federation, the Texas Federation, and then our local clubs. Under each level, bylaws are basically the same, but each club is autonomous, and they can make their own decisions. They do reach out, sometimes they reach out to the state organization when they have questions about something. But this situation, this is a local issue between this local club and the Hoppers. And I would be happy to sit down and talk to you guys today about it all. But I do know that the president has reached out to you, and you guys have a meeting set up, right?
As of 2 days ago, yes.
Right. So, yes, things have taken a long time.
So she's been very clear that this is not her decision, this is Texas
Let's-
Federation
let's-
of Public.
You know what, this has nothing
Well, I
to
mean,
do, yet.
If
this
you're
has
going to
nothing
cite
do-
facts, I'm just gonna throw out some facts for you so that there
Well, wait,
is
no,
a
no, no.
balance to it.
The three of us should sit and talk, because this has nothing to do with the RSRC. This has to do with them. Now, if for some reason you guys decide at some time that maybe TFRW did not act appropriately or whatever, once everything comes out, then that's something you need to decide. Just as our club decides if, members, agree with their objectives, things like that. There's other information we don't know. And, so, this is not something for this committee.
Can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
So I think how it got, and sorry, Mr. and Ms. Hopper, but I think how it got to this committee is because that club didn't just say that you don't align with this club. Like, that club drug in TFRW as a whole, the National Federation as a whole. So if I receive this letter, I think that TFRW as a whole, NFRW as a whole, thinks that my values don't align with them, I would be appalled too. So you may say that it's a local issue. This letter doesn't feel like a local issue.
Well, first, it needs to be handled between those parties. And then, like I said, I'm happy to talk with you today. And as I said, our national, our state, and our local clubs bylaws are all basically about the same. So, that's why, probably why they said that. But I'm happy to talk with them. I would like to talk with them. So,
It's been almost a month.
I know, you're right. It's
That's-
been a long time.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things happening. You do have a lot of things
Well,
other than do.
and
And I apologize that it's taken a while.
And in a month's time, I think a lot of things can happen to people's reputations, and lots of assumptions can be made, and so, I'm concerned, and I am asking this committee to monitor, this situation,
That's fair.
and,
And it can affect our reputation also, not
but,
just.
well, exactly, that's exactly right. Because I'll be honest with you, and I've indicated this before, if Amanda can be thrown out, then maybe I will be thrown out, because as far as I know, my guidance and objectives align with Amanda's. So, this, then I'm probably not the one. So it's concerning, and I agree with you,
I
that's your
understand.
reputation.
I understand.
And because you guys are a partner with us, it affects
I
our
understand.
reputation too.
I
So
totally
we're all
understand.
connected here.
I understand.
It's also my understanding that we accept Republicans of all stripes. We are not to be picking winners or losers,
Well,
in my opinion. So,
and TFRW does, we have women on all sides of the spectrum, no matter, no matter what.
so I don't know the situation, but it.
But again, this goes back to our objectives, and that's not something I need to
You
discuss.
wrote a letter and cited specific things, you donated to 10 Democrats and voted Democrat primary for the, you're not really a Republican, you may be claiming, but I don't see how that's here, that's very distressing, because now this is public, it's not just a local issue. It's here.
It should probably stay more of a local issue than becoming so public.
Yes, there's a lot
attack
on that
someone's,
one.
you attack someone's value system, that feels pretty personal when you attack your values and objectives. Do not align with wise Republican women, the Texas Federation Republican women, and the National Federation. They put it in writing.
I get it. So we talked about all this, or is this, I don't think we need to keep saying the same thing, do we?
I think Karen had a question.
Make a friendly idea, maybe so this doesn't happen again. Is there a possibility that TFRW could maybe put out a memo to the clubs and say, may we suggest that if you are going to reject people, here is a format. Have they met this qualification, this qualification, this qualification, or this qualification? Just to make it understood widely as to what standards there are to reject or accept. And they can just be recommendations, that you're not ordering the clubs.
Right, no, we don't order.
Right, I'm just
We don't
saying,
tell them
like,
what to do, we don't tell them what to think.
Is the state court, or the state leadership in agreement with the local club?
In this situation, this is a local club issue. It's not, we didn't tell them what to do.
So was it appropriate for them to cite you all in this?
Well, as I said earlier, I think what they're referring to is that all of our, bylaws are basically the same. So I think that's what they're referring to. All of our bylaws are in line.
Madam Chair, can I ask, is there a motion on the floor that we're just open
We
to
just open up
discussion?
questions to find out if we have anything, because this goes against our bylaws as far as, with
I would,
ownership.
I would think so.
Yes.
But at the same time, for this committee to consider it, and I appreciate you coming and giving the update, but I think for purposes of our committee here, this is something that we discuss and we vote on as our committee, and so I don't want it
And
to
I don't think you can
become.
vote until you know more information.
I think that is,
So this is not the appropriate time or place to do that.
and I do appreciate you coming and giving that
So-
update and that clarification on how the national.
Because there are always two sides to every story.
That's true, so I appreciate that, but I wanna make sure that our chair has.
Madam Chairman, I know I should have,
I can say, like, this is a terrible example. But in Bear County, our party chairman is not welcome to attend one of the women's meetings until he apologizes. The board voted because of some behavior that happened at one of the meetings before he was elected. And that didn't involve TFRW or SREC or anything, it was a club decision. And that's where it belongs. So there are, it does happen.
I mean, when you've got thousands of people, you're gonna be in conflict.
And I think we also need to consider, like, we have counties ask the SREC to interfere all the time, and I don't want to become a micromanager.
Well, and I think that's the discussion we're having here is, because, so Karen, when we talked about the Pachyderm Club, Karen, when we talked about the Pachyderm Club,
it was, we're not accepting the individual local clubs, we're accepting the national organization, or not the national, the state level organization. Because the state level organization is the one that holds all the local clubs accountable to what they're supposed to be doing. And when one of the local clubs sets out a line, we trust that that state level organization has already taken that into consideration or into account. So, I mean, I do appreciate it coming and giving that update. And, you know, I'm not a fan of this at all, but you have the president of a local party citing the state level organization. So I'm hoping that the state level is also meeting with, and I guess we can probably access this. Yeah. So I think that if Mrs. Hopper, and I don't know what's next on the agenda here, but honestly, like, I really think that there needs to be some sort of either report back or let us know, because honestly, I'm a member. And I think several of us are members of several clubs, and so it's one of those things where if one person's, you know, values are being criticized, then what about us? So.
Well, I would like to hear from the Hoppers, since we heard from TFRW. So, Madam Chair, is that all right?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. What did you do?
I think the first thing to do is to establish membership. So in our local TFRW club, there is nothing in the bylaws that establishes membership other than paying your dues and then being cash, the check being cashed, right? So on 12/20, the check was cashed for both Andy and I. I had already been a member for over 2 years. Andy had been a member, an associate member, I believe, in 2020, but he hadn't been over 2022. So I had already been a member. They just cashed it in, so I was renewing.
You served on committees?
Yeah, I had served on the campaign committee. So we've established that we were members. We have bylaws which have been pushed out. I believe our bylaws are the same ones recently accepted that were pushed out across most of the state. There is a section that allows for removal of membership. They have to have a 2/3 vote of the entire membership of the club. That was never done. In fact, the board of our club did not vote on this. The president stated to another member that it came down from the state and that she was told to do this.
So it's not as though we have not spoken to the leadership of this club. We're not estranged with the leadership of this club. They give us hugs every time we see them. And you know what their reaction? We are so sorry, this was not our fault. This came from Texas Federation of Republican Women. We had no say, we were overruled. Why would they have put a welcome new member, Andy Hopper, all over their Facebook page for weeks and then deleted it? So that's how this went down. And it's not as though we're not talking to Paula Fair. Paula Fair is a wonderful woman. She's conservative. She's attended our meetings before. We are not estranged with the leadership of Wise County Republican Women in any way, shape, or form. So I want to make that very clear.
Also, in terms of values, I served as a precinct chair in Wise County, and Andy was SB 12 caucus chair for the state convention.
And many of these women voted unanimously to make me caucus chair. If they thought I did not align with their values, you would think that they would raise their hand in opposition at caucus, at convention, and that did not happen.
We are co-founders of Wise County Conservatives, and our party, when we started Wise County Conservatives, we found out that the party in Wise County had no precinct chairs on the SOS site. So we worked over the last year and a half. We've recruited, and now we have sat 20 out of the 28 precinct chairs. We worked very hard to push the Republican Party platform. We're super involved. So we're open to any questions if you have any.
It's anecdotal as well, but we've had no less than, I believe, 5 individuals reach out to Kit Whitehall over the last month. There's been total radio silence until this week, but a number of the local district directors are happily taking calls and admitting that it was TFRW that did this. And in fact, the specific issue was the matter of whether or not we believe that the CRT involvement of TFRW was appropriate. We sent out some emails from Joanne Fleming 2 years ago. Apparently that's been burning in the minds of some, that we shared a quote from Steve Toth citing the fact that TFRW had opposed one of his bills that was CRT related. But that has been 2 years in the past. Amanda's been a member and she had no role in that. So here's one point I would like to make that I think is very important. Amanda has been a member for 2 years. She's done, even if that CRT issue burns in the minds of some, Amanda had no role in that. And to diminish her womanhood by conflating her with me is absolutely opposed to the idea of empowering women in a Republican organization that is there to empower women in politics. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
So you have a motion on.
So I would move that we give this 2 weeks and, seek resolution, investigate, monitor,
Give
and.
them 2 weeks or 3 weeks to come up with all the answers, and give, Bill and the president of the club. And so because we don't know all the facts, and we appreciate the Hoppers being here, and thank y'all so much. Thank you, Kit, for coming in and, doing this. We were just concerned when we saw National Republican, the other city in the matter. And
So that date is March 17th.
that's St. Andrew's.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, there you go.
So, we have a motion,
Second.
seconded, me, all in favor?
I'd like a little more clarification on the motion. What is it we want done within 2 weeks specifically?
We want some more answers. and Resolution,
So the action must be taken by TFRW in response?
Yes.
So it's a letter or something?
yes.
Whether this committee
Yeah.
And there's
No,
a
let me do
committee,
this.
us, and.
And to the Hoppers.
And to the Hoppers, yes.
we're the ones.
Exactly why they were treated like that.
Yes, because we're the ones that ultimately are approving
Yes.
that partnership with the Republican Party. And I think that's important.
It's very important because they're our partners, and we have, I think we should be involved. Especially when we approve this, so. 2 weeks and then we'll call another meeting. Dr. Myers, will it be included? Yes, thank you, okay.
She's been voluntold.
Okay, Liz?
Unanimous, unanimous, everybody.
Unanimous, yes, Elaine said yes too. I mean, sorry, Fernanda, Elaine did, she never got signed. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Another thing about the partnerships and coalitions, we leave it open for the members of those groups to come to our SREC meeting to tell us what they have done the last quarter. And I think Karen did a great job last time telling about her hackathon. Erica, would you like to speak on behalf of Convention of States?
Are these applicants?
Convention of States is not a partnership or a coalition. She was just concerned, she heard about the grid, and she is executive director for the state of Texas,
State director.
state director for the Convention of States. Right?
Hot seat.
You're just not allowed to trip on the, don't trip on the course.
Hi, my name is Erica Hatfield. I'm with Convention of States, Texas, and we are an organization based on Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution, which I
Go, 5 minutes.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. So Article 5 tells us how the Constitution can be amended. It can be, there's 2 ways to propose amendments. One is through Congress, one is through the states. The Part B of it through the states has never been done before, so that's our project, is to get states together to propose amendments. There's only one way to ratify the amendments, and that's through the states, through the state legislatures. So whatever, it's similar to the GOP convention, right? When you're coming together, you're proposing legislation, and you create your platform, and then the state legislature then decides what they want to do, right? Same process, the states come together, they propose amendments to the U.S. Constitution, but whatever is proposed out of that comes back to the states for approval, and that would take 38 states to put an amendment on the Constitution. Jerry Fisher, who is my SRDC, approached me and said, hey, have you considered? And probably because what we're doing here in the state of Texas is, we have Troy Jackson, who is a wonderful precinct chair trainer, teach us, our supporters, which is over 270,000 here in Texas, what is a precinct chair? Because a lot of people don't even know, how does a party function? What is a precinct chair? What do they do? And so that's basically what we've asked him to do, and so he's traveling the state for us to put on precinct chair trainings. A lot of the clubs, the GOP clubs, are kind of questioning that, and they don't understand what we are about, and so when we come in and we do that in a county, sometimes they're concerned, but normally they're appreciative, because we're bringing in new volunteers, basically, and I would say 99.9% of our supporters are conservative because they're passionate about the U.S. Constitution and conserving it, and a lot of them will call themselves independent because they don't like what they're seeing with either party, right? And the Republican Party, we have to explain to them the big gap between the party itself and the elected officials and what they're doing, and how they can become a part of that to create influence. And so the last convention process, we had over 1,300 delegates to the state convention. And I think that's a huge piece of it, and we would love to start exploring what does a coalition or partnership look like with the GOP. Any questions?
I got one. What are the proposals to amend the U.S. Constitution?
We don't propose amendments. Convention of States Project does not propose amendments. We leave that up to the state legislature or the Texas Republican Party has proposals on the platform, so I would direct you to those.
The biggest argument against the Convention of States that I've had over the months is that anything can be proposed, and that is true. Anything can be proposed, not everything can be approved, but,
May I
sure.
say something to that? Okay. So if you look at the application for the Texas application for, to be a part of this project, you will see that it is a limited convention based on three categories, all right? So the application was created by the state legislature, all of the state legislatures that have joined this particular project. So anything outside of that scope would be out of scope. Anything outside of those three categories, which is term limits, fiscal responsibility, and government overreach, which are amendments that Congress would not impose on themselves, so the states have to do that, right? The states created the federal government, the states can also come together and propose amendments.
Yeah, I read the governor's book. So
Oh, good, yes.
But,
And what he's referring to is, Governor Abbott wrote a 92-page book called the Texas Plan, which is his support for the,
all for it too. But my point is this, is that Texas might have these.
no, all of them, they have the exact same application.
Okay.
Yeah. You can go and look if you want to, and we even have a specific page that will point you to every application, it's all the same.
Thank you.
And real quick, so on Convention of States, is that a member organization or?
Okay, so, yeah,
membership,
so,
or is that
let me explain the
is that like
organization.
one-
Yeah, let me explain the organization, how it works. So, our mission is to get to a convention. I mean, our goal is to get to a convention. Our mission is to grow the largest grassroots army of self-governing citizens, because what is gonna happen when we get to a convention and amendments are proposed, those amendments come back to the states. And you guys know just as well as I do, how hard it is to get anything passed in the state legislature, right? So without a grassroots army, that cannot be done. And so, what we learned is when we pass a state, what sometimes happens is everything falls away on the wayside, right? And so we realize that the grassroots army is gonna be key to getting those amendments passed. So what we're doing is we're doing spring training is what I'm calling it, and we're picking priorities or legislation to practice on. But really, it's not practice, it's real, it's real life. Like the last session, we were doing banning taxpayer-funded lobbying. That was one of our main ones, right?
So appreciated, you guys helped us with one of our priorities. We thank you for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that falls under one of our 3 categories, right? Anything that falls under, fiscal responsibility, term limits, or reining in the federal government, we're all about that. So that's the one we had picked. And so, but we never, at that point in time, we didn't realize that y'all had Gail working on that, and so we weren't working together, but for something like that, we were. So, too much time?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. All right. Any other business? Yes. I don't have anything right now, but I'll bring some.
Madam Chair, I'm Vince. So we're requesting a letter in 2 weeks, but we didn't say about what.
Well,
Just,
more of the facts.
So my resolution, there you go, you wrote it down for me, okay, very good. It was written resolution, response from PFRW, on the, result and resolution.
what's the resolution of the situation?
The resolution of the situation between the Hoppers and PFRW, 3/17. Okay.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, and y'all all have that.
Yeah.
Right, so, yes,
Brenda.
what the resolution, yes, and how it would be handled moving forward. Because it goes back to the member, so as a partnership, we need to know how we're gonna handle that.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's something that's not, I think.
Let's wait till we get the resolution, wait till we get their written response. Yes, and then we can address it after. Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye,
Aye.
guys, thank y'all for coming. Thank you,
So
thank you, thank you.
committee, I texted everyone. Okay. So,
I'm putting that in our.
yes. Exactly.
Conrad Strickland, Bandera County Chair.
Bandera County
Chair.
Chair.
I would love to have you out.
I think we already have something planned for Bandera. A meeting, yeah, we do, for the precinct chair. Troy's doing it. Troy Jackson? No, he travels the state. He's here. He's a part of the Republican. He's a regional director for the party.
He has something planned for us?
Yeah.
He hadn't talked to us.
That's, yeah, we don't reach out to the county chairs. We probably should be doing that.
Troy Jackson hadn't talked to us.
No. Here, let me get you the exact date of when we're gonna be in Bandera County. He has a church in Bandera.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Sure. Hey, I'm out of Bandera County, and we have a Republican women's group. It's a very good group, or whatever we want to call them. And I didn't tell you this, but they had their druthers. They would decouple from the state and the national. And that's that crap about they don't have control over them. If you don't, then why do you require funding from them?
That's what,
And
yeah.
why do your bylaws mimic each other at each level? That's so much crap.
So they just brought in all new bylaws into our club. Our club didn't have those bylaws before. And this year, that last thing that talks about dissolution, it says that TFRW owns everything. It owns their bank account, their email list, their name, their websites, anything that belongs to
Yeah.
their club.
So they do have control over
Yes.
it. Because they have to be chartered and certified by
It was Blanco, sorry, not Bandera, Blanco.
the Blanco.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
I would love to, I don't, you know, I support the convention of states. I'm actually not conservative. Most closely aligned with the R's. So
Well, that's what we tell people, there's only 2 roads to Austin, you have to pick one.
Well, with independent Greenpeace,
But they don't have anybody in Austin. There's more parties, you're right, but there's no one.
and every now and then, my pop up, and they know me.
Yeah.
Especially in.
Although my rep isn't, my rep, I would say, is an I,
Yeah.
but he runs as an R. So I think that needs to be taken care of.
We push and push. Fiscal responsibility, you know?
Yeah.
So you, convention of states, excuse me, very closely aligns with and it's foreign to me why a couple of coast.
Yeah.
Because we're losing this. You know, I'm adjacent to Bear County. Holy shit. It's, they have counties. I mean, they are seeing deputy voter registrars, the D's, registered Democratic voters.
Yes.
That bled in.
Hopefully we'll get closed primaries soon, right? This legislative session, there's bills, we gotta push them.
Yeah. And Kendall County, Curry County, as close to Medina, Real, Baltimore, Shooter, we're working. I mean, the R's are getting death threats. That's how bad it is down there. And we're down there every week. It's not the point where they just want to quit and roll up and move out of town.
I won't be surprised.
I didn't know it was like that.
Well, it's not publishing yet.
Yeah.
Because the county judge is the D. And Cook. And all of those police officers, DPS, sheriff, all should be fired. And so respect them, Texas DPS, and you used to be, but they're cowards. And I say that because when they stop the parent from going in for the same trial, they come out. I mean, you were there, if I'd have been there, I would have been dead DPS guys.
We have 29,000 veterans as supporters here in Texas, just in Texas.
So I would like to get you out and talk. We have monthly meetings.
Okay.
We just finished our draft 2023 action plan. What are we gonna do? We've given up on the SOC and the RPT. And I talked to the RPT. So we're taking a mantle.
Good to see you. I was worried.
That was my question.
But, okay, so, what I can do is, my co-state director is Al Gordon, and Al can speak, he's in New Braunfels, and he does a fantastic job, he's ex-CIA, he's a veteran, he's awesome. Yeah, so I'll put him in, I'll put him in
So
touch.
this is
I'm in
your
Rockville, yeah,
It's not you.
that's me, yeah, I gained weight.
Haven't we all?
I'm trying to use up all my cards and get a new, a new picture, yeah.
But, I will send you, we're having to have, like, I'm also the precinct one. Water board. You know, of course, that's exempt from dual office in the state of Texas.
Okay,
Because it's unpaid, and they made a specific point to exempt us. Why, I don't know, but we are. So we can't make them open offices.
I would love to have you speak on what is that water board, why more people should be involved.
Well, we're running out of water.
I know.
And right now, we're having this massive political migration
Yeah.
within the United States. And that's what it is, it's a political migration. Oh, you can call it
I
anything
understand.
that you want,
Fully
but that's what it
understand.
is. People are just.
On purpose?
So, and like, I'll just take Dare County. Everybody knows what's in it. They get water from 17 counties. They pump it in. They tried to come and they stood up this water conveyor called Bear Medina, Nova Scotia. They came to our county and tried to claim our subsurface environment. Saying, well, we have all these permits, it's ours. They wanted to pass legislation, the Texas legislature, to come out. They say, you own 10 acres. You pay $30,000 to drill a well. Is that your well?
Should be.
Not according to BMA.
Right.
They can come out and put a meter on your
And that's
well.
why we need a convention of states, right? Yeah.
And charge you. You pay for the infrastructure, you pay for the electricity, you pay for the maintenance, you pay, but then they send you this. So we beat them. We will lower than
I would love to learn all about that. That would be such a, I know everybody would love to learn with convention of states. How to beat it, how to beat it.
Well, hard work and persistence.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. It took us 9.5 years.
Wow.
Right, but we beat him, we kicked him out of the county. So now there is precedence, because Texas law says that the groundwater, when you're 10 acres, subsurface belongs to you. They have no standing even to bring that.
I love that. I love this story.
So, it's just,
Yeah.
and now we're fighting, I'm sure you're familiar with Medina Lake, or Medina Hole. It's a big lake, no water. We're fighting for control of that. Once we get control of that, we stop all irrigation and pumping, it will become an aquifer recharge zone. That helps the entire region.
I would love to know.
And that's another, as soon as that fight's over, there's things I want to do before I take a rocket ship.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I would love to get you guys up. Tell us how many have you got right now, states? It takes 34?
19, takes 19. We have 19 right now. And we're about to lose Texas, because what they did when they passed Texas is they put a sunset clause on it. And so we have to get rid of that. So we have to remove the sunset clause, and that's this legislative session, that's what we're fighting for. So on March 27th, Monday, March 27th is our legislative day. Who's your state senator?
Mark.
Pete Flores is for it.
Wow.
I think so. I think Pete Flores, and who's your rep? No, I understand. I think Murr is like one of the failing top 3 right guys, buddy, best friends. But I think that they're full. I have to go look at our whip count, but I believe that we've got that.
I would love to, because this is my recommendation.
I would love to get the blueprint of what you did, so we can do that.
Well, the problem is almost all of the county water guys are structured differently.
Yeah, it's just like these counties are all structured differently.
Like the guys that stood us up, they had their shit together. We don't conduct. We control surface and subsurface. We do all well Unrestricted and restricted. We can do, approve commercial. We control, we can fine you. If we can remove it through logo, we can remove the license through logo. You're a bunch of bitches. But we're fair.
Yeah.
And we've removed several road licenses. They're not licensed. Once we jerk the license, they're not licensed in the state. You're gone, you gotta go find another one.
Excuse me.
I wanted to introduce you because
Live stream off.
I was.
Oh!
Uh-oh, Wendy's been recording our conversation the entire time.
Yes, it has.
We were talking about you.
You could, we said it was all your fault,
Yeah.
because you didn't give us any money, my lunch.